So, hey guys, welcome to my Euphoria live chat. I had a few people ask me on Twitter if I would do a chat about this show, and I was happy to do it because I loved it so much. I see some people have already started talking to me in the comments. But if you haven't said hello yet and you are watching, you can say hello and I will give you a shout out. Hello to Shy City 28 and Scorpio B79. Thank you guys so much for being here. Hi, Jay. Jay was one of the people who asked me to do this live chat. First of all, a little background on why I decided to watch this show. I watch a lot of stuff on HBO. I think HBO is really amazing. Hi, Luke. And I basically was watching, I think, Big Little Lies, which I never did any chats on. I'm really sorry. I know people wanted me to do that. I apologize. I did like Big Little Lies season 2. I'm sorry. I'm such a slacker. But anyway, and I was seeing promos for this show, and I was like, this looks like my type of show. Euphoria looks like the type of show that I would love. And I was right. I loved it so much. I think I told some of you guys when I was watching on Twitter that I was watching, I was like, you guys should watch. I think it's definitely something that people who enjoy the same kind of shows as me would have liked. So that being said, I thought it was really fabulous. I loved how it pushed boundaries. It was probably the most explicit show I had seen in quite a while. I know it's on HBO, so it can, go places that we can't really always go, like on network, even though like FX really pushes the envelope. But definitely there was a lot of nudity. I really feel like it was super graphic. I don't know about you, but I think it's one of the most graphic television shows I have watched. I felt like all of the actors did not seem like actors to me. I felt like it was such a real show and the people were very believable. I didn't feel like people were playing a role. Zendaya, I thought, was just amazing. As Jay is saying, it's also nice to see Eric Dane. I did recognize Eric Dane. Even though I have not watched Grey's Anatomy, I did know who Eric Dane was. Eric Dane is, why can't I think of his name now? He's a disgusting character on this show. He is the dad of the guy whose name I have forgotten, who is the also second. Well, I don't know. Honestly, they're both super disgusting, father and son. I thought, speaking of that dynamic, I thought it was very disturbing to see the kind of relationship that the two of those people have, the father and son, who names have escaped me all of a sudden. That scene was very, wow. It was just a lot. And I was reading an article that the guy who, why can't I think of his name? This is really hard to talk about him when I can't think of his name. Nate, he is Australian, which doesn't really matter, but I just thought that was interesting. And he said that he actually was bruised and everything in that scene where he was like going crazy on the floor, which, it's like, he is a terrible person, but you kind of understand where that's coming from because he has basically he's being abused by his dad. There's something I really want to talk about that I'm kind of wondering if you guys feel the same about the overall theme of the show, which could be a major reveal. If this is what's happening, and it may be a reveal that doesn't even come until like the end of the entire show. But I was wondering if you guys think that Zendaya's character Roux is not alive. And if you watch the show, if you rewatch episodes, if you haven't had that thought before, if you watch the show with the perspective thinking she is not alive, you kind of get a lot of hints because what really started making me, this gives me like chills just thinking about it, but when I was definitely questioning this was when, I think this was in the finale, when her mom was like up there talking about her, it definitely seemed like someone's funeral, even though I guess it was like an AA meeting or something. She was speaking about her as if she was no longer there. And I just felt like it was weird because she was like, Roux was like sitting by herself. And I thought, well, this is bizarre. Like, is she dead? And so then we had the finale, the very end scene of the finale, which some of you have talked about already in the comments. I thought it was a little bit weird. I really do like the song. We all know that Zendaya is like a talented singer, and I thought that song was beautiful. I also felt like it was a little bit too much of like cross promotion, like we were kind of promoting her in her other endeavors within the show, which I don't really have a problem with, but it felt definitely strange from the rest of the show. So I don't know what really happened there. Did she overdose there at the end, or is she like in a state of euphoria or mania or whatever, like a state of confusion? Her brain is just everywhere, and that was the reason for the very strange ending. Again, it was a weird ending, but I think to kind of also promote her music within that was a little weird because it was basically like a whole music video. It wasn't just like a little bit of it. It was like the whole song, which again, I have very mixed feelings on that because I think that song is amazing. And I think that all the songs that are used throughout that show are just so good. I just love, love, love the show. I'm going to go to the comments now. There's so many comments here, so I'm going to go back to those. Luke says, the way the finale was edited was weird. Like, you couldn't tell which scenes were flashbacks at first, but you enjoyed it, and the ending was surprisingly good. Right, so again, I feel like some of the finale was either her, like, tripping, basically, or she's not alive, or, I don't know. I also really love Hunter as a character. I'm sure someone's brought her up. I think she's awesome. I really like her personality. Her personality is just great. And when I was looking at YouTube one day, it just gave me a suggestion. She was on like the Seth Meyers show, and it just had that clip, and I watched the interview, and it was cool because I felt like she was actually, her personality was quite a bit like her character. I'm calling her by her real name. I do this all the time. Okay. Jay says you appreciated how the series was filmed and the characters actually looked the way they were feeling in the series instead of looking perfect all the time. Yeah, like I've said, I think it's like a super, super real show. I mean, I really think that's what I love about it, and I see 13 Reasons Why being mentioned here, and I also felt like that show is super real, where you don't feel like people are portraying these people. I feel like they are these people. Shy City saying off topic, but with how graphic both the show and 13 Reasons Why are, do you agree with the removal of the suicide scene? So in 13 Reasons Why, if you didn't know, it has been re-edited on Netflix, and the scene where she was cutting herself, I hope I'm not spoiling that show for anyone, but it's been out for a while, has been removed because I guess there were concerns that people would copy that, or they were encouraged to commit suicide because of that. I really don't think it should have been removed. I know there was a lot of controversy over that show because people thought that that was encouraging people to commit suicide. I think it's hard to comment on suicide, but I think that if you are suicidal, that a scene in a show, my personal opinion is that a scene in a show is not going to be the thing that makes you do it, but I don't know because I can't speak for someone in that situation or in that mindset. So if that was the reason someone killed themselves, I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, how far do we, you can look at anything and be like, someone's shooting someone in this video game, someone shooting someone in this TV show is inspiring me to do that, So you can go so far as to where we're censoring everything because someone could be triggered by whatever. It gets to be like a slippery slope, I feel like. And I will be watching the new season of 13 Reasons Why, which comes out later this month. Okay, Luke says, Shy City thinks that Roux is dead. Luke thinks she died at the end, or seized at the end. And I'm just wondering, like, if they mixed the timelines here, like, we could have had her dead the whole show, or maybe we've had her dead part of the show, or maybe the timelines are mixed. Just because we're seeing that scene in the finale in the time, we think we're going chronologically, but I'm wondering if maybe we aren't. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of different ways to interpret that. I would also be fine with the fact that she's not dead and doesn't die through the whole series. I don't want her to die, but could it be that she has been dead this entire time and the timelines are kind of mixed up? Shy City says it could be interpreted that Rue's old self is dead, but I feel like with the way things are going, like she's just been in a bad space for a really long time, and to the last scenes that we are seeing is that she's back in that really, really bad space. Hi, Launchpad. Thank you so much for being here. I know I've disappeared for a while. I do apologize, really, truly. Mr. ZTV, thank you so much for being here. Okay, I'm going to scroll to the bottom. I know I'm going to miss some of your guys' comments. Please just comment again. It's just that if I don't go to the bottom, I just get lost in all of this. So I know I missed some people. I'm sorry. Alex, thank you so much for being here. I have seen the Saw franchise of movies, and I love those. But again, I think it's hard when we're talking about, I think it's bizarre that they went back really and edited out something that they already released. I feel like I don't know. I feel weird about it. I just feel like, if we're going to do that, let's go back and edit the Saw movies. Let's go back and edit everything. A lot of people have already, the people who were going to watch 13 Reasons Why, the first season, I feel like they've already seen it. It was out a long time ago. But anyway, we're talking about, this show. The one who talks says to me, to the final scene just felt like a really trippy dream portrayal of her relapse, which definitely could be. We could just be looking at a surface explanation here, which is where I was just confused. The thing that really to me was weird throughout the whole show was the scene, I think it was in the finale again, where her mom is like up talking about her. And it just seems to me that she's talking about her in past tense, and you see Roux sitting alone, which I thought was really weird that she wasn't sitting with her sister. I think she was not sitting with her sister. Let me know if I'm wrong here. Definitely Nate has been in a physically abusive, not a relationship, but he's physically abused by his dad, who's just a piece of trash. Let's just be real here. Did I see that Nate has two brothers? Yeah, I feel like at the carnival or whatever, that's when we realize that, right? Kim says at the end of the final episode, we can hear birds chirping the same way Roux heard birds in the hospital. So, I think it's interesting if you want to go back and watch season 1, since we're going to have time, to keep that in your mind if you've never had that in your mind before, to think about the possibility that, like, is she dead through the whole season? Is she dead somewhere in the middle? Is she not dead? But I think, if I went back and watched it all, I haven't done that, but if I did, which I would, this is a show that I very much look forward to. When it came out, I would always watch it on HBO Go, but I would watch it the night of. And, I do watch quite a few shows, and I can always tell, like, what shows I'm really into, because some of them I'll be like, yeah, I watch usually everything, like, on demand or whatever. I don't even know. I don't ever sit down and watch them anymore because I can't handle, like, the commercials, even though HBO doesn't do commercials. But, like, I know I really love a show when I'm watching it, like, the day that it comes out, rather than putting it off a couple of days, which I'll do with other shows, which I'm like, I want to see them, but it's not, like, super important that I see it right away. Ashley says, Euphoria is an amazing show. It's become one of your fave shows at the moment. I think it is fabulous. I really don't have any critiques negatively about it. The only thing I would say was, to me, like I've said before, in case you're just now joining, the finale was a bit strange, a little bit over promotion for Zendaya, even though I think she's amazing, and I think she's so like, I was just thinking when I was watching that episode that she is so talented, that she can, she's got such a wonderful voice, and she is such a wonderful actress, like, wow, what a person. And I also wanted to mention, I've kind of been doing some research on the show since it ended, that the guy that plays Fez is actually not a famous person. Like, he's never done anything. And supposedly he was, like, found on the street in New York City and recruited for this show. We haven't talked about him yet. I don't know what's going to happen to him, because I feel like he might have murdered that guy or severely messed him up. And it was very sad because the guy's son was watching all of it. 88 is asking if I think Fez is Nate's other brother. So help me out here. When we were watching the carnival scene, I felt like there were some guys with Nate's mom and dad. Were those not his brothers? And that is an interesting thought. Now, I never had that thought before because they kind of seem to hate each other. But again, it may be that he is his brother and they don't know that they're brothers. Also, I was really surprised in the finale to see Allie Marie Evans. I don't know if any of you guys know her, but back in the day, I used to watch her on YouTube, and I haven't watched her in a really long time, but when I saw her face, she was the girl that Nate brought to prom. I guess it was prom. I was like, oh my God, that's a YouTuber. And then, like, I looked up her Instagram and her channel, and she was like, on her Instagram, she was talking about being in the finale, and she had a pretty big role in it, honestly, and I was like, okay, wow. That was just shocking to me. If you've never seen her before on YouTube, you probably wouldn't care, but maybe you were wondering where you've seen her before, and I was like, wow. So the one who talks says, you think Jules just needs to mature emotionally, and her and Roux need distance to grow before they can have a healthy relationship together. So when we left the show for this season, I really wanted Roux to go with her, I guess, like, into the city on the subway, and I was kind of sad that she didn't, but I guess she's concerned and scared, and I think she needed her medication, something like that. But I think at the root of all of it, she was just, like, afraid to go off with her, and I think afraid, like, what her mom might say and whatever, but I wanted her to, like, go on that adventure with Jules. What do you guys want to happen with Nate, do you feel like he's a terrible person, or do you feel sympathy for him knowing that he has been abused by his dad? Um, just your thoughts on that, because I know obviously he's a hated character and we're supposed to hate him and we're supposed to hate his dad, but it was interesting to see the other side of that. And I think that's kind of like how it is in real life. Like sometimes the biggest bullies in life, or a lot of times the biggest bullies in life, are people who have been bullied themselves, or going through bullying themselves, had like a bad upbringing, whatever. It's, they may pretend to have it all together and be like a very strong person, but a lot of times the way they're treating others like stems from the hurt that they have inside of them. Um, Alex says you're from the UK, so HBO is super annoying for you to watch on the day it comes out. I don't know what time it gets released on HBO Go there, but probably like super late, I would assume. The cool thing about being in the US here is that, when it comes out on HBO, it's actually available on HBO Go at the very same time. So, that's cool. But also, I know we do Netflix very differently here than people, I feel like, in Europe and stuff, because, like, I feel like you guys get episodes. I don't know, it's different. I feel like you can get like How to Get Away with Murder and stuff like that on Netflix. I feel like people have told me that before, and we can't do that. I would almost kind of like that, really. The one who talks says you think Nate's pretty bad, but Jacob, I don't know how you say his last name, but the guy who plays him, Elordi or something, whatever, the actor who plays Nate, performance is so layered and complex that it makes you empathize with him. Yeah, I mean, I think he's killing that role. I don't know him from anything else. I think he's so good. And I think what's cool, and maybe these people are super famous and I just don't know, but it's for the most part, most of the cast, the supporting cast, are people that I've really never seen before. They're not like super famous people, and I think that's cool, because I think if we had a whole cast, it's kind of like 13 Reasons Why. Like, we had a whole cast of like all these people that we knew really well, it just wouldn't be as authentic. People that were already like super big stars, the whole cast being that, it just wouldn't be as good, I feel like. Shy City says you think he goes after all the people the dad hooked up with to blackmail from talking. I could definitely see that. Yes. Shy City thinks that Nate joined the football team not because he's good, but it protects him from not being by his dad. It gives Nate the power in the game that he doesn't have with his dad. I could definitely see that as well. But overall, like, I'm just sad that it's over. It has been renewed for a second season, and I assume that that's coming back for 2020. Just kind of on the subject of HBO, but off topic a little bit. One of the shows I love so much is Insecure, and it usually comes on every August on HBO, and apparently it's been pushed back to 2020 because Issa Rae is busy. That makes me so sad, because I actually just found that out because I was thinking it was coming back this month, and I googled it and I was like, when is the premiere for this season? And no. So, but the good news is, for those of you who watch 13 Reasons Why, that is coming back. They tweeted out a date, I can't remember, but it's like probably like in a week or so. So we have that. We have American Horror Story coming back really soon. We have How to Get Away with Murder coming back super soon. It is the final season for that show. 8 says you think the dad abused him because he seems like he cares about his family. You don't think the dad abused him. Well, I mean, the scene that they showed to me seemed like abuse. That was pretty crazy. Shy City says, can I explain how Roux literally knows everyone? You think Roux and Nate have history? Well, I don't know. I feel like there's like a circle of people that they focus on, and it seems like all of those people know each other. So I don't know if she knows people more than the rest of them, but I feel like everyone's kind of connected in that way. Alex says you feel like you love every show that I watch. Well, thank you. I kind of feel like a lot of the shows I watch have a connected theme. Sometimes I will be watching something that is kind of off theme for what I like, but I feel like there's like a couple genres that I like, and when I find a show that's really, really good, I try to tweet about it or post on the community tab here, because I feel like we all kind of like the same shows. Yes, Alex, the last season of How to Get Away with Murder is this season, which I think starts in September. Also, want to throw out there quickly, for those of you who didn't see me tweet about this or didn't see me talk about this on the community tab, a show where you're trying to figure out who the killers are that has like crazy twists that's super hard to figure out is a show called Absentia. It's on Amazon Prime. Literally amazing. I watched the first 2 seasons. That's all there have been. I watched them so fast. I'm absolutely obsessed. It's so good. I love it so much. If you have Amazon Prime, you have to watch it. Even if you don't have Amazon Prime, maybe you have another way of finding it. It's so good. Shy City's asking, what do I think of Lexi almost cheating? Um, I'm not really super surprised by that. I think she has a lot of internal issues as well. I like her. I just think she has a lot of struggles. I think her home life has not been good at all. Empathize. I can't even empathize. There we go. I don't emphasize with her. I empathize with her. Yes. Dylan says, remember in the first episode, Roux said Nate tried to sleep with her in late junior high. Yes, I do remember that. So there's that too. Yeah. Ugh, that guy. I don't know. I feel like he's tried to sleep with everyone though. But anyway, who's my favorite character on Euphoria? Ooh, that's a hard question. Gosh, it would probably be a tie between like Rue and Jules, probably. I know they're like pretty much the main characters. Who is your favorite? That's a good question for you guys. Who are your guys' favorite characters on Euphoria? Literally, the only people I don't like on there are the people that we're not supposed to like. I think Kat is really cool. I love the evolution of Kat. I love her finding herself and finding confidence, and she's cool. I really like her. I really only dislike Nate and his dad because we're supposed to dislike them. So I think that's good because sometimes, a lot of times, there's shows where there's characters in a show that aren't supposed to be the villain or they're not supposed to be super annoying, but they are annoying and they get on my nerves and like I want to scream at them. So I'm glad that this was not one of those shows. Did you know that Judd Apatow's daughter is in the show? And I can't think of her name on the show, and I feel crazy because I can't think of her name. But she dressed up like Bob Ross. So, yeah, I didn't really know her before this show either. But anyway, I just really love it. I don't know what else we haven't talked about. The one who talks as your faves are Maddie and Jules. What have we not talked about that we need to talk about? Definitely, if you guys want, I can start doing more stuff on this show. At least I hope to. When season 2 comes around, if you want me to do weekly things. I asked a lot of people on Twitter. If you guys probably don't look at Twitter all the time, I don't know. But like, I asked people on Twitter if they were watching, and I felt like I don't think anybody responded that they were watching, like when it first started. So I was like, okay. So I was like, I'm not going to really do anything on it because I don't think anyone's watching. But I feel like a lot of you guys are watching now, or maybe you caught up later. Alex loves it when I dislike people you love it when you dislike people who they want you to dislike. Yeah. I mean, maybe it would be more weird if I really liked Nate and his dad and everyone else hates them. I don't know. Hi, Ralph. Did you watch Euphoria? I wasn't sure if you watched it or not, but I really loved it. But I definitely have to be around for American Horror Story because I think that's going to be really good. It's called 1984 and it's about camp. And I think that's going to be great because to me, it's like along the genre of all the popular 80s like horror movies, which I like, even though a lot of them are stupid and it's like it's not hard to figure out, but whatever. So what can we say about Maddie? Maddie is Judd Apatow's daughter, right? That's her name, right? I definitely think there's more to her story, and unless I'm talking about the wrong person here, but I saw that people were speculating that she has like a big crush on Roux instead of just, they've been friends for a really long time, and they think that she will maybe confess that to her next season. Oh, so Ralph was talking about how good Barry is. That's another show that I watched this summer that's on HBO Go, so you can catch up really fast since you have I think everybody here has HBO or some sort of access to HBO shows. It is so good. Barry is about a serial killer, and it's kind of like Dexter, but it's almost better, and it's kind of funny, but it's very dark comedy. Anyway, just throwing that out there. I've actually been fortunate to see a lot of very cool shows. I've just kind of run into them this summer. So Barry's really, really, really good. I watched that one so fast. The episodes are like 30 minutes. And guess what? I can't think of the name. The guy who's Barry is a guy from SNL who honestly on SNL, I honestly didn't really like him. But on Barry, he's really good. And I've forgotten his name. What the heck? Okay. The one who talks says you think Jules loves Roux, but her only dating experience is hookups with men twice her age. So she needs to kind of figure herself out. So I feel like she told her, I think, in the finale that she loved her. And I do think she does. And of course, I think we all hope, as long as Roux is alive, that those two end up together. I don't know. Ralph thinks it's way better than Dexter, and that's Barry. Barry's really good. I think all of you guys would like it. I'm telling you. I had heard about it before, and I had dismissed it, and I was like, I don't want to watch that. That doesn't look good. Mostly because the guy who plays Barry, I didn't really like him, but honestly, he's so good, and I feel like SNL to me, I don't know. I just feel like he really shines on this show. I think he's a really good actor, and I'm shocked. Yes, Slasher is great. I've watched all the seasons. I highly recommend that, Alex. Very good. Please watch it now. Very good. Yes, it's very sad that Sarah Paulson's not going to be in 1984, and neither is, I can't think of anybody's names today. The guy who's been like in every single season is not going to be in it. The guy that's super popular. Wow, I never do this. Yes, Barry is really good. Please watch it. Like, I think my brain is actually dead today because it was only dead when it comes to names. I can't think of anyone's names. Very weird. I'm so sorry. No, Shy City thinks that Jules and Nate are gonna be together. Oh my God, no! That would make me really mad. He's just a terrible jerk, really awful jerk. So, do you guys think that Fez killed that rich guy that he beat up? I mean, I don't know. And what's gonna happen now? And it seemed like the crazy drug dealer people, once they saw like the blood on the money, like what are they gonna do? What's their reaction? Because it's just like we're not sure. Evan Peters. Yeah, I definitely took some jingle jangle before this. No, not just joking. Anyway, Evan Peters, yes, thank you. So Shy City thinks that the guy that Fez beat up is not dead. So I mean, I hope for Fez's sake he's not dead because I think Fez is a good guy, just kind of in a mixed up life. Yeah, we don't really have a backstory for Fez, so I don't know. I'd like to see that. I like him. I think he's a good person. It made me really mad that Nate like ratted him out to the police. I hate Nate. I hate him. Oh God, Riverdale. No, I really thought that was. I don't know if you meant to say River Fail, but I started hating that. I couldn't watch it anymore, and I don't miss it. And no, I don't watch The Perfectionist either. I hated that one too, even though no one has asked that yet. Usually in every single chat, no matter what, people ask me about The Perfectionist. 8 says he's smarter. Fez is smarter than that. He has to protect that little kid. What's his name? That is a weird character, like the little kid that works with him. I guess he's a little kid, right? Or is he just someone who just looks young, but he's not? The drug dudes at Fez's house are very scary. The guy with the tattooed face, very scary. The one who talks says you think they're saving Fez's story for season 2. I'm excited for that. I really am excited. I really like him. I think he's a good person. Just, he happens to be a drug dealer. He's just trying to make ends meet. Shy City wonders if I think the kid who saw Fez will grow up and become a main character. Well, I don't really know if we're going to go that far into the future, and I don't know if I want to do that. Because that kid was pretty young, and then we'd almost have to have like a whole new cast. Well, we would have to. So that's an interesting thought. I definitely think what he saw might scar him and may make him make certain decisions in life because of that. Or maybe that was like a realization for him that his dad was like not a good person because his dad's basically involved in the drug game. No one calls it that, I'm sure, but whatever. Yeah, so quickly, 13 reasons why the season 3, it's not a spoiler, but Bryce Walker is dead, right? Or that's what they're tweeting out. I don't remember that happening at the end of the last season. It didn't happen, right? So the whole point of the season is trying to figure out who killed Bryce Walker, and also we're going to have a season 4. A lot of people have mixed feelings about this. I thought the first season was really, really good, and then after that, I don't think we need to keep going. But they are bringing me back into it with who killed Bryce Walker because I need to know. So Bryce Walker is definitely the Nate of 13 Reasons Why. And 8 says the little boy, who I assume is the son of this guy that got beat up, could testify. Definitely. I don't know how old that kid is, but definitely. Ralph says Fez takes care of his sick, dying, I guess his grandmother, right? Grandmother. And the punk kid is his little brother. But the kid is like, his little brother is so funny because it's like, he's just too smart for however old he is. I have no idea how old that kid is, but he looks so young, but he's like an adult in like a kid body. So I just wasn't really sure, like, is this character really a child, or is he like, not to be mean or anything, but like, is it really a child, or is it someone with like a growth impairment that's actually like 25? I don't know. Like he acts like he's 25. I needed to Google him. Why didn't I? Like how old is that actor? Because if he's like 10, like he's like phenomenal. I don't even know. Like does anyone know? Why didn't I not Google him till now? Like why haven't I investigated that? Because I'm very confused by that person, by that character, actor, you know. And I don't want to be like disrespectful because it may be like he has challenges or something, physical challenges, and I have no idea. Or he may be 10 and he just may be like a really mature actor. I don't know. Yes, Ralph Killed Bryce, and now we know we don't need to watch it. Yeah, like the film Orphan, where it was like a child, and I think obviously the actress was a child, but she was like 35, trapped in like a kid body. I don't know. Yeah, now I've like spoiled that for everyone. I'm sorry, but yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so anything else we need to talk about before I leave you here? This was fun. I really didn't know how many people watch it or how many people want to talk about Euphoria, but it seems like a lot of you guys liked it, and it really helps that everyone came to this chat because that makes it way more fun. So apparently this actor is playing a 14-year-old, but he's 12 in real life. It's like creepy to me because he's like an adult. Like again, I want to be careful because maybe he is, I don't know, right? Even his voice seems like an adult. He's really good. That's all I have to say. He's really, really, really good. He seems way older than 12. Although he does not look older than 12, he seems way older than 12. And he's a child boxer according to his Instagram. So wow, I'm learning a lot. That is really interesting. So as far as the upcoming shows for me, with 13 Reasons Why, I have to watch it all before I come on here. I'll have to do like a whole chat at the end just because of the crazy people who enjoy spoiling things for me and everybody else. So, but I do plan on doing American Horror Story and How to Get Away with Murder weekly live chats on those because, well, especially How to Get Away with Murder is the last season, and you know I always do this for American Horror Story, at least I have been. So I'm excited because we have a lot of stuff coming up. Again, if you're looking for shows and you're bored or whatever, you're just looking for shows, seriously, Barry on HBO Go, Absentia from Amazon Prime, Big Little Lies Season 2, all of that so good. If you need shows. I feel like there was something, maybe a couple other things I watched this summer and I've forgotten. I don't know. I feel like there was and I forgot. But I try to comment a lot on occasionally on the community tab here. I don't know if you guys see it. Some people respond. I know everyone doesn't have Twitter or just can't keep up with who's tweeting or when I tweet, but the community tab I think is a little bit easier because I do see like people I follow on or on YouTube like talking on there, and I always feel like I see those, but I don't see their tweets. So I'll try to keep you updated there as well. But Twitter is also a really good place to find out like when I'm going to have a chat and what shows I'm watching and stuff like that. But thank you guys so much for coming. This was so much fun. I can't wait till season 2. And let me know like on the community tab where I made a post today or on Twitter. Do you think Roux is dead, or do you think do you think we're going chronologically in the show? Do you think she's been dead for part of the show but not all, or do you think she's just alive and it's all just like scenes from her mind being warped on drugs? By the way, as far as Scream, I should have mentioned that before now. I actually have still not finished the VH1 Scream thing because I just really disliked it. I actually tried to watch like the first 2 episodes sitting there in front of my TV with all of the commercials, and I thought I was literally going to go insane. So then I DVR'd the rest of it, and I still have it on DVR, and I think I've seen 4 episodes, but literally I just started watching them while I was like doing other things online, so I wasn't paying very great attention, just to be honest, and I still didn't finish it. A lot of people tweeted me just to give up, and then I was like, cool, I'm just going to give up. Just don't like it, but maybe I should go back to it. I look at my DVR list and I'm like, oh, there's Scream. I think I have 2 more episodes, so I guess I need to maybe watch that. I don't know. Maybe I should I watch it? Was it worth it? I was just bored to death, or maybe I just went into it with like a bad attitude because I don't like what happened to Scream. I don't like the fact that they fired everyone, like gave everyone no warning. Like basically the actors from the first Scream on MTV were saying that online. and the fact that they just dropped that storyline totally. I did like seeing Ghostface back with the real mask and everything. But I guess if we're going to have a season 4, I should probably finish it. So I don't know. Because I just saw so many people complaining about it online, and I was feeling like I didn't really like it. But, so was the reveal good? As soon as I say this, I know for a fact some crazy trollish person is going to like comment, oh, by the way, this is who the killer was. Not you guys in the chat, but as soon as I go look at my comments like tomorrow, that always happens. So it'd be like, I actually won't be that mad. So if that's what if you're watching this and you're a troll and you're thinking about doing that, I don't care. You can just tell me, whatever, I don't care. But that's why I can't do Netflix or anything like by the episode, because of people that, and it's not you people, it's not the people that talk to me all the time. It's always like a name I've never seen before. Literally, this was like probably the first video they ever watched of mine. That's the sad thing. Every person who's ever spoiled something for me is like some random person I've never, ever, ever, ever heard from. So anyway, I'll quit talking about that. But I hope you guys have had a good summer. I can't believe it's like almost over. Thanks so much for coming to this. I'm glad everyone likes Euphoria as much as I do. If you didn't know, this is actually based on a show that was from Israel, which I don't know if anyone has seen that Euphoria, but I guess it had the same name. I don't know. But anyway, that is where this came from. So have a great rest of your day, and I will see you soon. Bye, guys.